Out of Northern California, a giant fireball there last night just around dinner time. Dozens of homes destroyed after a huge explosion last night. It was apparently caused by a broken gas line. It happened in a...
Hi everyone, Brian from Clifton Accountants. We're here today to talk about the extremely important and very serious issue of asset protection. I'm here today with... What are you doing?
You told me we were talking about asset protection, so I thought I'd come prepared.
You're a dingleberry.
Don't need this either?
Don't need that. As we were saying, it's an extremely important issue, asset protection, and often people fail to plan. And it's issues like that when it comes to a problem with their asset protection that they realise they haven't planned, and by that stage it's just too late.
Yeah, look, Brian, the truth about many of the lawsuits that hit our courts are that they have nothing to do with what is right or what's wrong. They're rather about one party trying to extract wealth from another party. So, who needs to be concerned about asset protection?
Well, realistically, everyone should be concerned about asset protection, but mainly we look at people who perhaps have a rental property, those who are in business and are dealing with the public, those that may be cafes and restaurants, anyone in the medical field, those that have high net assets or high net worth, and therefore there's a lot of assets that are at risk, and anyone who produces goods or manufactures anything.
I imagine a lot of those people and people that are listening with this today would be saying, but Brian, I have insurance. Doesn't my insurance cover me for those sorts of risks?
Well, for sure. Insurance is a really important part of it. So being covered with the appropriate levels of insurance really is important. But we all know what insurance companies are like. They really don't want to have to pay out on the policy if they don't have to. So if they can find any reason, any type of negligence, they'll dump it straight back in your lap.
Yeah, this is true. One of the things also with insurance companies are that you are generally only insured for the period that you are covered for insurance. So for example, a plumber client who was doing some work on a pipe underneath a public footpath. The work was fine. 10 years later, however, there was an issue. The pathway moved. A member of the public came along, hurt themselves by falling over the path. They sued council and also the plumber. The unfortunate thing for the plumber was that he had since retired and was therefore no longer had insurance cover. When the law case came against him, he was personally liable. So the lesson to be learned here is that you need to be insured when the claim is actually made against you.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so what can someone do to protect themselves and their family?
Well, like we said before, it's all about forward planning and all about thinking about the future. So there's a few things that people should always be looking into and dealing with. Make sure that you've got income protection insurance where it's appropriate. If you've got a company or you've got employees, make sure you've got your workers' comp insurance up to date and proper coverage for everyone. Have life insurance, because it's not always just about you, but it's about what may happen with your family and your assets, what can be at risk if something does happen to you and you happen to pass away. And also life insurance through a superannuation structure for tax effectiveness. Also thinking about wills and making sure you've got an up-to-date will. Too many people have a will that might be 10 or 15 years old, but their circumstances have changed significantly since then, be it business-wise, family-wise, and also being in the correct business structure for your circumstances.
Okay, you mentioned business structure. What is the best business structure as far as asset protection goes?
Well, really from an asset protection perspective, a company or a trust with a corporate trustee. They're separate legal entities to the owners, and so there's therefore a separation between the business assets and the personal assets. And also in a situation like with the plumber, they'd be suing the company, not the plumber personally. So it takes away that element of risk of bringing your personal assets into a claim like that.
Okay, so it sounds like everyone that's in business should set up a company and a trust. Is that what your recommendation would be?
Well, no, not absolutely everyone. We certainly do recommend to people companies and trusts, probably particularly trusts because of the tax benefits that there can be within trusts. But it really comes down to someone's individual circumstances and what's right for them. The most important thing is to be aware and to be well informed.
Thanks for that, Brian. Any last tips about asset protection?
Sure. Don't hold assets in the name of the business owner, so there's some separation between the business assets and the personal assets. If you're in a partnership, be it a partnership of individuals, companies, trusts, any sort of partnership, make sure you have a good, strong, legally binding partnership agreement drawn up at the very start. So you've got a document that you can rely on, that you both agree with, in the event of there being a breakdown of the partnership. Do regular reviews of your insurance to make sure that you're covered in all aspects of your insurance as your circumstances change, and regular reviews of your wills with an estate planning specialist.
Great. So it seems like the main thing is to be aware of the risks that may arise, and with some forward planning, there's no reason for your assets to be at risk.
That's it, exactly. Here at Clifton Accountants, we're here to help you and your family and your assets and make sure that they're all protected. Come in and see us because we can talk through the aspects of your business structure, your insurances, and really have a general discussion about your whole business and to make sure that the plans are in place ready for the future. Call us or go to our website, cpaaccountants.com.au.